Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Grenadian Diary, first edition and Independence edition. I am your host, Amane, and I am very honored to have with me three very special guests, all from Grenada. The theme for tonight's discussion is growing up in Grenada, which is an authentic experience, a unique experience, but a very different experience depending on which part of the island that you're from. And so, without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to my featured guests so that they can just tell us their name and where they're from.
Good night, everyone. My name is DeAndre, and I'm from Sutter, St. Patrick, north side of the island.
Hello, good night, everybody. I'm Lene Mitchell, and I'm from the sister isle of Carriacou. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. My name is Shanir Hostin, and I'm from Guam, the fishing capital of Grenada.
Thank you very much. We have three segments for tonight's discussion, and our first segment is school days. School days.
Rainwater harvesting, have you heard of it?
Our school life played an instrumental part in shaping who we are today, whether it is our personalities, our practices, some of the games, some of the things that we did in our primary school and secondary school levels. To this day, we still remember them and hold them very dearly to our heart. I went to primary school at Beacon and I went to secondary school at SJC. And one of the things that I remember doing growing up is playing with something that we used to refer to as a rara. So, so we used to get a bottle cover, whether it's a Stag bottle, a Carib bottle, even just a Coke bottle cover. And we used to get string, and we used to play a little back and forth. Whoever string bust first used to be the loser. I don't know if you guys also had that experience as well growing up in school.
But I went to Dover Government School
Uh-huh.
and later on to Hillsborough Secondary. And I remember, like, you referred to it as Rara, but we called it Zoom Zoom Fan.
Zoom zoom pants.
Where?
Wow. I never hear that yet.
The same method.
Uh-huh.
We would get either, a malt bottle, Stag bottle, and shape the end so it's really like sharp, and then put like string on it and just pull it, and then you would make a
Yes,
song
a
like
zoom, like,
zoom,
yeah.
zoom,
Mhm.
so that
And
hence the
whoever's
name.
own sung the strongest was like a
It
competition.
wasn't rather like a competition for us, but really much like a fun,
Fun activity.
Yeah, just looking for bottle covers all over especially like after event, like a sports meet or something in the school, and there are a lot of bottle covers on the ground. We look for them and make them. Yeah, I mean that is really fun.
It was really, really fun.
Really.
Something else. Well, did you guys do that as well?
Well, we call it, I don't know if it's just a country, but we call that vroom vroom.
Country always
So-
different,
so-
always something
I remember it
different.
being boom boom. I don't
Boom,
know.
boom,
Boom, boom.
yeah. So we get similar like all you. We get the bottle caps, the pan ones. We flatten it and try to make the edge as sharp as we could. Then put two holes in it and put the string through it. We also use the plastic bottle cover cap, and like when you have the bottle, you have this other thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You reverse it and put it on
we
for
turn it
spikes.
inside out and
Yeah.
put it on. And
Yeah.
sometimes we used to call it teeth or spikes or whatever. And
Right.
we used to do all kind of different type of colors. When
Nice.
Independence, we do red, green, yellow. Sometimes, depending on what you like, two red in the ends, one
Oh,
blue in
that's
the
all. It
middle.
was creative with
Yeah,
it.
man. Men used to come and show off their boom boom.
Oh, yeah.
Serious,
Definitely.
serious thing. My question is though, how will you get Stag and Carry bottle
The
to
boy.
use as boom boom? Because I just know Chubby bottle and Malt bottle.
It's
Well,
like
after
Dre said,
event-
after event, you just pick up where you find.
Where
But
you
honestly,
But you say in the school, you know.
uh,
They're drinking in the school or
Totally.
going on?
I
My
mean, that's
lord.
how revenue came along,
Right?
When you have sports meet,
You might not have been drinking it, but exactly.
patronize the bar,
Right.
Yeah, so we pick up as much as we could, but that's good.
Something
How
else.
about elastic? You all played
Elastic?
It's a game where like you would go to like a tailor shop or wherever you found elastic, put tie together, and then two persons at the end.
Mhm.
So and then you try to jump in. So they will try to put the elastic, at different levels on your foot, and they will try to jump in and twist and try to jump back in the middle.
That sounds like a
Oh,
carry good thing still.
Ah,
yeah.
there.
I know the game, but
Everything.
I can't say we ever played
You ever played it?
it. No.
What we used to do, we had another thing that we used to do in Beacon. We used to call it cockfight. So we had a from Beacon, we had a flamboyant tree right in the back of the school, and it was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
pretty low to the ground, so we could climb up and pick the flowers and so on. And we used to play with the thing from the flower, and basically whoever head come up first,
Yeah.
that person is the
What?
loser.
Yeah.
You know what?
You never.
They cockfight.
Where you
So
went
they
to
have
school?
I
Where you
went to school in St. John's Anglican School,
Ah.
and we had like a big
A big
cockfight
tree,
tree in the
yes.
yard.
Yes,
So
flamboyant.
children used to always go and is the petals right?
The petals, yeah.
Yeah.
You used to pick
What's
the,
the
the
point? What-
green thing.
Right, I can't remember.
You
We
open
used
it.
to
part.
peel it
Yeah.
and then
Right.
take out it used to come with like 4 in the pod. And then we
Right.
used to take them out
And play.
right.
I know we would even make it even more fun, like you have prizes. Whoever wins get a chubby,
I
like
think
a
that's serious,
archer.
man.
Chummy,
Right, so last.
You never?
So I mean, you never play cockfight yet.
I don't know what is that. The only cockfight I know is chicken.
Yeah, that was something we used to look forward to. Trust me, almost every time, lunchtime, break time, you run out and everybody
Especially
got
when because it's season. So when the season originally excited because the flowers and trees.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite games when I was in primary school though was something that we used to call holding. Oliver used to play holding.
What does that
No,
entail?
expound. I
So,
think I know, but I want to hear.
Basically, what it is, whether you put your feet together and the last person in, like you might go like dig dog shit. You are
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yes,
the last
yes.
person in, they try to hold whoever and make them.
Right.
It's kind of like tag, like the Americans call it tag. But
Yeah.
we call it
Big
holding.
dog shit.
Yes.
We would use that when we're playing hide and seek.
Right.
To
So,
figure out
a
who's
similar
gonna
method,
hide and who's
yeah.
gonna
Right.
seek, and
Yes.
definitely.
Hide and seek was a thing, right? But I mean, like back in my primary school, there was a latrine outside. So some people used to go and hide in the latrine, but you wouldn't want to go
Hide in the
there
latrine.
to look for some.
What?
Where you going to hide in the latrine?
Lynette, did you go and hide?
No.
What?
So like that would be a place somebody wouldn't even think about going to, and obviously it would win.
No.
I mean that was so crazy.
We had Cowitch in the back of our school, and I remember
Oh
we were
my
playing a
God.
hide and seek game, and somebody went in the back of the school. Long story short, that's how we discovered it had Cowitch in the back of the school. Anything else? Cowitch,
Pagate?
Yeah, Pagate.
Zuti?
Zuti.
Pagate, man.
Yeah.
Lots of
But what
stories,
about
lots of
marbles?
stories.
I mean, as guys, I guess marbles is the thing.
I was never good at marbles in this.
It took me a while to get good at it.
Yeah,
I
never
remember
good at
boys
it.
used to collect marbles, and if they lose a marble, it's a problem.
Yeah, the special, the big one they used to call it.
Bobsy.
Right.
I forgot.
Something else I remember from school. Well, two things actually. I think this one is a universal experience in Grenada, and that's playing with a donkey eye.
Yeah. That was just.
I was so scared too.
That was
Girl, I was scared too, but nobody could have catch me with that. I was no athlete in school, but if somebody chased me with a donkey eye,
Gun.
I can't. Trust me.
Speaking about donkey eye, you had a thing you used to do with your eyes. Like they used to call it pokey eye. And anytime somebody do that and they come behind you, you start to rust.
You talking about the one where they used to take the bottom of the eye and bend it? Ugh.
Like that?
When you flick
Oh
your
my
eyelid.
gosh. Oh my god. No.
Yeah.
That time
that
they
was
used to.
the
They had a thing they
worst.
used to put. They said pull in the lizard.
Yeah. No, yeah. We didn't used to really pull it.
You just punch it.
Yeah,
And
punch
make
it.
it kind of raise up.
Yeah. Oh, we used to do some kind of shit.
No, that's
Yeah.
the
I'm
kind
trying to
of
understand like what
What's
kind
the
of reaction
go-to?
that is,
Up to this day, I still don't know.
Right.
Like, why is your lizard?
Yeah. Like,
And then
School days.
even the same flamboyant tree, we used to take the thing and we used to use it as a tambourine. Well, we used to do that back in school. We used
Like
to
a
play it as
shack.
the shack. We used to use it. Yeah, that's how I learned to play the tambourine. And to this day, I still play in church. And I was like, wow, it was just because of that innocent stuff you learn in primary school, you know, and it turned out to be useful in the future, right? Yeah.
What else? Moral.
Moral and these things. We used to play more.
I never used to play moral. I find morals for girls.
What about hopscotch? We used to have a
Hopscotch.
real competition for moral, like a real competition, like winning prizes, this kind of stuff.
I didn't play it in school. I played it at home sometimes because I had aunties and I had 3 aunties and I used to more be around them mostly. And we'll play skipping and hopscotch and moral and thing in the road. And then we'll start playing moral.
Nice.
Yes, the most the best ball is the compo ball. It's a golf
The
ball.
golf ball?
Yeah, we call it compo ball.
That one was kind of hard to control, man, because you would just bounce all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, if you could control that, then you're all skilled at the game, right?
Yeah, and then we try if you find somebody winning, you add in the rules as you go along. Like you can talk in the box, you can laugh.
So basically, you're cheating. You're cheating now. Yeah.
You just
You're modifying the rules on the fly. That's cheating.
You're modifying the rules.
And sometimes the person do nothing wrong, but I see you do that, I see you do this, I see you do
mash the
that.
line.
You'll mash no line,
I think he had something called long game and short game or some kind of thing like that. So
tell me more.
when you reach box 10 and you have to go backwards, some people used to say I had long game, so that means you have to bump 10 in number 10, 9 go all the way back. And when it's short game, you just bounce 1 in each box.
In each box. And some people, like when they're claiming their box, they would do like 3 in a row, so it'll make it hard for you to bounce the ball in 5, like you're all the way in 10, but then you have to bounce the ball in 6 or 5. So that used to be kind of, just doing it for spite so that the person won't win.
Right.
So claiming all kind of weird boxes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's some good days.
Some good days, some good school days.
You never can,
What
Right.
about, since we're on the topic of school days, during break time, there was a shop nearby they used to sell snow ice. I went to milk snow ice. So a girl, she invented I guess she didn't used to have breakfast in the morning, so she would buy I think a Trix, the small bag of Trix, right, and put the snow ice and mix it up now. So it's
Tricks and snow ice?
Tricks, yeah.
Nah.
It's like cereal and milk, but just cold. Cold milk snow
I
ice.
don't know how I feel about that one, to be honest.
What?
I don't know how I feel about
Oh
that
my
one.
god, and she would just if she doesn't have a spoon, she would just eat it from the bag. But I tried it once and it's actually pretty good.
But wait,
It's like ice cream.
When you
with
tried
treats.
it,
Yeah, it's the milk snow ice is nice and milky. So it's
So
like
nice
ice
contrast.
right. So it's like
Gotcha.
ice cream and cereal. Like that kind of combination.
I'll try.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
They say don't
But-
knock it until you try it,
No,
but
no.
I don't feel I could make it, but
I
yeah.
know, I
But
know.
you say if she didn't have a spoon, she would have just eat it from the plastic.
From the bag. So from the cereal bag. So
Oh,
right. So she would just slurp it up from the bag,
Interesting.
So she
Wow.
makes sure she have her $4 because $1 for the milk snow ice, $3 for the thing of Tricks. So,
What? $1 for a milk snow ice? No, man.
No, that's ridiculous.
They robbing all them, man.
There's something going on.
$1 for a milk snow ice? How big that snow ice
The
is?
snow ice was this
so
big?
like a normal soccer bag,
Wee.
like a medium bag, I guess it's because it's a milk, And the lady, she had the best milk snow ice on the island. I would say that, She'd used 3 different kinds of milk. That's what she said, but when I tried it, it never came out anywhere close to hers. But it was really good. So you could only imagine the combination, right?
Right, yeah.
So as he said, you can knock it until you try
you
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
can't get past $1 for
I mean, I used to pay $1 for snow ice, but it would be like Guinness and milk.
Right.
Or
Yeah, something.
peanut butter.
Right.
Right.
You get something added to it
Yeah.
than just your regular milk, right?
Yeah.
All right. right. So, any last comments before we move on to our next segment? Are we good?
I guess we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
We want to move on to village days, right? So we're moving out from the school life now, and we want to talk a little bit about at-home life, especially those who kind of grew up doing different things like going to the river, whether you went whole crayfish, going to the basse, things like that, climbing trees, stoning mango, things like that. I know, those are some of my experiences. Although to this day, I'll be very honest with you guys, I have never pulled a crayfish because every time I went, it was just not something that I was good at growing up, right? But it's still an experience that I remember very vividly and something that I really, really hope that I could get to do very soon, right? So tell me a little bit about you guys and maybe some of the things that you did growing up, your at-home life.
Well, what I could really like something also different. Well, I have one sibling. So we would do things like in the yard, because like our parents never really made us like go down the road and that kind of thing. So like mainly home. So we'd build a club. We like watching TV. So everything we see like on TV, we try to like create it. So we tried creating a clubhouse. Actually, it should have been like a tree house. But I was afraid of heights, so I couldn't help him create it. So we did a clubhouse outside, looking all over the place to get wood. We constructed a beautiful clubhouse, and we had people come over and have little sessions in our clubhouse. So that is something that like that's really unique about my childhood, like trying to create stuff. Like the kind of creativity part, I would say. So
that's very unique as well. Y'all really went the extra mile.
We really went the extra mile.
My aunt and I did something similar once. We didn't use wood, but we used like coconut branches and stuff to make a house. And we even like plait some of the leaves, like weave them together to make a kind of, pattern on the house. But we didn't really complete it. I mean, we made some progress. He was almost finished, but he was kind of a lot to do as a child, by yourself. So we did what we could. We laid on some branches for the floors as well. And it was a nice little vibe. We just chill inside there. That was our, clubhouse, as you say.
Yeah. And what made it even more fun, like we would wait until the rain would fall in to go outside to test it to see if it's strong enough, like if it would withstand. I mean, thinking about it, it's funny, but that's the only that's the only way you would know if your clubhouse is strong,
Oh my god. What about kokorigi, making kites and things like that?
Oh yeah.
You guys did that as well?
Yeah, we did that as well. So my brother, he would put a lot of work into creating his kites. So, so like if he got stuck up in the tree, he wouldn't want to go make a new one. So he would be very much pissy. He would go the extra mile to try to go and look at the kites.
Forgetting about the danger. Honestly,
some people have a conscience when it comes to kites.
That's
I've
so
seen
true.
Guys climb precipice.
That is so true.
Tree. Jump in the sea behind kites and so on. To be honest, I was never really a kite person, so I could never understand the love and the passion. But trust me, some people with this kiting, they take it serious.
You have some guys to this day, like even as adults, they still look forward to Easter season, look forward to kite flying season to make their kites. That's why you see all these kite competitions now, who can make the biggest kite. And I honestly think it's very nice. I think it's good to see the creativity and so on. So I can't even look down on them for that. I really look up to them rather for their creativity.
No, they even add categories: the tiniest kite, the most colorful kite. Well, not the yeah.
Yeah, the most colorful. Honestly, do what you have to do to get your kite. Honestly, you can't see a grenadian unless you have one big bruise, one big scar, something on your body from falling off of some tree, falling down somewhere, running and taking a hard fall. Everybody, I'm sure, has at least one scar on their knee.
That would remind them of their childhood, right?
Or a bus head.
Something.
I would also say be careful with that, though, because let's be real, there have been times that people have died due to kites,
Yeah, that's
you fly
true.
your kite and you get connected to a power line and you get electrocuted.
Yeah.
Things like that have
Things
been
like that happen.
happened in the past. So
Yeah.
we have to be careful. Even
Raise
if we have the
awareness.
passion and the love for it, you have to do it in a safe environment. you know?
Right. I mean, it's sad, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm coming across to Mr. Shen because I know you're from Guelph, so
Mhm.
fishing parish. Did you do any fishing
Yeah.
growing up?
To be honest, as a Guav man, I never liked fishing.
You never? Okay.
I never had the patience.
Mm.
My brain have a kind of ADHD brain, so I can't really focus on things for too long. So if I have to be waiting 10-15 minutes to catch one fish, nah,
10, 15
I
minutes.
can't.
Sometimes they out on the water for days.
Yeah. And I have family, I have cousins
days.
who always told me, yo, let you go to the ocean, but I personally, I can't make it, boy. Yeah, I can't make it, boy. I just not my thing, you know.
So, with river instead or what?
Sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
Sports.
Cricket,
Cricket,
um,
like that.
When I was small, like we have like a yard that's relatively big, and a lot of people used to come, a lot of neighbors, friends from probably higher up the street, because I live on what you call Lower Deputy Street. You have a Lower Deputy Street, you have Central Deputy Street, and then you have Upper Deputy Street. Upper Deputy Street is where we call the lands. Everybody hear about the lands, you know, kind of the busiest part of Guelph, but I'm kind of more in the kind of calm area, but a lot of people used to come and play cricket in the yard, football in the yard, and that was my thing, you know. Sports just always been my thing.
Yeah, and sports it really serves its purpose in our communities in terms of bringing people together, and in terms of a lot of young people discovering their talents, things that they're passionate about,
Even staying out
football,
of
cricket.
trouble.
And look, Lene's mentioning something really important as well, staying out of trouble. I've spoken to a lot of men that said, you know, the only thing that really kept them on the right path is because they had some purpose, they had something to do, they had to go to training, they had to go to the gym, they had to make sure that they're committing to this thing to get good at it, right? So it really helps to stay our youth, to stay our men or females as well, to keep us on the right path, you know, to keep us grounded growing up, right? What about things like church harvest, you know?
Oh yeah, you would look. What I would always look forward for church harvest for is saltfish cake. 'Cause that is
Saltfish cake.
that is
Saltfish cake. What's
For
saltfish
me,
cake?
it's fish
well,
cake.
it's fish
Oh,
cake,
fish
but
cake,
we
right.
call
Yeah,
it
yeah.
saltfish
Oh,
cake.
okay. I was kind of confused a while ago, like
I would
saltfish
save
cake.
up all my money, you know, and $10
too.
saltfish cake. I know that.
So hold on. You said $10 saltfish cake?
No, we used
Yeah.
to buy
How big it
$10
is?
worth.
About, I wouldn't lie, you know about that. So
So
this big.
that is the size
That's
of
one.
this saltfish cake. And how much you getting?
Yeah, I get like 10, and then
Okay,
you know, like if
alright.
you go there and the lady see you, you know, you go for for 20. She might put a little tree over, you know. But that's the main thing I would go there for, you know, saltfish
I
cake.
think
Or even sauce.
sauce.
Oh yeah, sauce.
Yeah.
Delicacy.
Delicacy.
I was the biggest fan of salsa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, trust me. I'm
What you
telling
didn't
you
like
right
about
now.
sauce?
Oh, wait, saltfish sauce.
No, like
No,
sauce.
sauce,
like
like
Nah,
seafood
nah.
sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce.
Nah, I
yeah.
wasn't the biggest fan of sauce.
Dre, if you
I
go
don't like the fatty part of the pig. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
sometimes it's just the juice in
Just
it.
the
The
just
sauce.
the sauce.
The sauce and the
you know?
cucumber and the
Yeah, and
pepper and
they would
thing.
have homemade bread and stuff, so you would just dip it in the sauce, you know?
I mean, this is not really childhood related, but to me, if you go to a party and you have a lot of drink,
Right.
sauce is the best remedy for it, you know?
To sober up.
To
Right.
sober up.
Yeah.
Barbecue me any day.
Barbecue?
Barbecue me
I
any
look
day.
for a
Even a
sauce.
good barbecue, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or else you
But-
get some sodium in the system, you know.
Yeah.
Neutralize the
Yeah.
effects of the alcohol.
There's a fish bread. There's something else.
Yeah, there's something else.
But just to go back on the church harvest, I just wanted to bring across the point that it serves the same purpose as the sports.
Right.
You know? I mean, sometimes people look forward to harvest as well, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And it you see it because you see a lot of people that don't necessarily come to church, and people that don't necessarily have the best quote unquote reputation in the neighborhood, but nonetheless you see everybody coming together for church
Right.
harvest. You wondered where all these people come out in the village, people you never see before, but everybody is there for a church harvest. You understand? Yeah. So it was a really unique experience, but I think the central things in terms of village life for people would be going to the river. I know many of us probably go to a blocko once
I
or
mean,
twice.
for us, we don't have any rivers up in Carriacou, so
Carriacou.
the beach.
The
So
beach.
you would cook on a Sunday, you know, your pie or whatever. I go to the beach and have a nice family outing. So
Or you cook a pot on the beach as well.
well, even that, yes. Yeah, you cook a pot on the beach.
As Grenadians, how many times have you guys been to Carriacou?
Oh my god, it's embarrassing.
Never been to
You
Carriacou.
never been to
You have a
Carriacou?
lot of places in Grenada I've never been to.
Yeah?
Probably. I think I went twice, and it was when I was much younger. So if I could tell you that I
You
remember it
remember
very
anything?
clearly,
Mm-hmm.
I probably can't. You know, maybe one or two things.
Right.
I want to go.
Another, well,
sure.
since you're on the topic of Carriacou, I mean, another unique childhood thing is boat building. So you
Right.
would wait for like somebody to launch a boat, and they would cook saraka food. You
Right.
know, so that's
Saraka.
right. That is a main thing for like any tombstone festival, So you know, you would go down on the beach early in the morning before they launch it, and children will be there playing on the beach. You know,
Right.
they would have this thing called like a wedding ceremony, where you would have like a bride, a groom, that kind of thing, like on the boat. It's just like a unique cultural thing, and
Right.
people would come out, dance the cake, you know, that kind of thing. So I would enjoy that. You know, you would go there, you would get your nice cuckoo and your, you know, and your meat. So yeah, so that was something nice. That was something unique.
It sounds fun. And to be honest, it kind of sounds like fisherman, but they, you know, they grease the pool and thing on the
Right.
beach.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Lina, as it relates to Carriacou. How is the commute into Grenada? What do you think about it? Do you think it can be improved? What's your take?
I would believe like you know, some people when they talk about the islands separate. You know, they don't say like, okay, I'm Grenadian, so you're basically from Grenada, but they don't like look at
It's not,
as
you know,
together.
feel as inclusive.
Right. I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, because many things that we do are way more different than what y'all do. So
Right.
they look at us like, okay, not to bash anyway, but just how certain people's perspective is like small island, you know, like
I
that kind
would
of
say
thing.
so, you know, but at the same time, for somebody like me, I feel like I embrace the difference. Like certain
Right.
things that you speak about, to me, I feel like I have a higher appreciation now, because, you know, my eyes are now open to the way that you guys do things, even if it's a little bit more different, you know.
Right.
It's just what makes us Grenadian.
Exactly.
You know? Our differences
Exactly.
kind of bring us together.
Exactly. But speaking with y'all is like, we are all from the same nation. We do things maybe a little differently, but I would say it's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing.
Honestly,
Absolutely.
I feel like I've experienced that not just with people from Carriacou, but even people from different parts of Grenada. So like coming here, I've met, even back home, I've met people from St. David's and maybe other parts from the island and stuff. And even like what we were talking about earlier with the vroom vroom, you see, you call it rara or whatever.
Right.
A different part of Grenada, we call it something else. So it's even though it's one nation, you still have, you know, different sets of cultures and
Different parishes and
different parishes and stuff like that.
So this is a call to action for us as Grenadians to not be so critical of each other and our differences, but rather to
Come
see the
together.
beauty in it
Yeah.
and to embrace it. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. And you had this old woman that used to try to throw she bucket of pee on.
That's crazy.
No, you have some mad people in primary school.
I think everybody had a mad person in their village that used to just do the absolute most.
Yeah.
Absolute most.
I don't know how true it is, but I just was too scared to get pee thrown on me to go and find out.
And did y'all have that one neighbor that don't like no dog around, so he poisoning everybody?
Yep.
Dogs?
Yo, you know what dog my dad?
Rest in peace,
Mass
Mr.
dog
Sleepy.
poisoner, you know.
Rest in peace, Mr. Sleepy boy.
Dog and them.
Voila, dog, chicken, everything, all animal getting poisoned.
I ain't calling name, but he had this person, well-known person, that say he and his brother went on a mission to poison every dog.
Oh, what?
I think I used to that already. I used
That's
to that already.
crazy. Innocent animals like
That is so
that.
insane, eh?
Good chat, you know.
That is
I
so
know,
insane.
like the only thing that I could recall is people would do that like for the animals or during farming season. So like, you know, when corn and peas in season, and you know, like your dog might come or your sheep might something.
But you
you
saw
know?
some real unruly dog, you know.
I
mean,
know.
I
When I
myself,
knocked on the garbage bin, all garbage all over. I mean, yeah.
I
we
myself had a
understand.
dog that had bite somebody's sheep, you know. But we won't talk about it online.
No, well, my grandmother does corn fish. She's a fisherwoman, so sometimes she will corn fish, put it out on the wall, lay the sun hit it and thing. And he had some dogs that used to come sometime, jump on the wall, grab the cornfish and run.
Yeah,
What?
We can't do nothing now. We could do is close and stone it, but
I think
what done is
cornfish.
done.
Exactly.
You didn't used to like it?
Nah.
Fish and fig with the under dumpling, but real salty.
It was a little fresh to me.
Yeah,
A little
the-
too
the
fresh.
fresh-
The scent, the scent and the freshness that
Yeah.
used to turn me off. to be
Yeah, at
honest
first, yeah.
What about your elders? Did anybody have any elders that they looked up to in the neighborhood? It doesn't have to be grandparents, but I'm sure you would have had somebody that you grew up with that probably used to tell you a lot of stories growing up. I remember I had a babysitter when I was younger. She's the one that cultured me in all the folk tales, the Ligaroo, the Larger Bless, and to this day I believe that they exist. You can't tell me nothing. I believe in your garlic and your purse. I believe in your rice and your salt and everything by the window.
So
to
you
keep
have
them
garlic in your
evil
purse right now?
You want to open my watch?
I just want to know.
You don't
Yeah.
believe?
That's so kind of crazy.
And putting the garlic under your socks and
Grenada.
Or on their
and
pillow.
under your
When they have
pillow.
a bad
Grenada
dream.
vampire.
I mean, shouldn't I don't believe in those things.
What's that?
Ligaroo, larger place, and putting them thing and them to keep them away.
To be honest, I never seen one of them in life, so why would I believe
We
them?
have one in Vincent.
I believe there are evil forces out there. I believe there are evil forces out there, but them.
So
I feel like what you believe in could give rise to
Yeah.
things in life.
well, let me rephrase then. I know they exist, right? I
Right.
know they exist,
Oh, you know
right? Stories that people have heard, that people have told. I remember they come and say that this man.
It could just be folklore and
I mean, that's the
storytelling.
nice part about it, but no, I believe it. The man had he had a big conky on top of his head, and somebody started tell and say how he go on hold long so and so, and she hit him a lash in his head, and that is why he had swell up big
Poor
like
man
that.
probably had a tumor or something.
Oh my God, no, it is really something else in this neighborhood, you know. It is really something else. But these are things that I used to like to listen to those stories, and I mean they used to scare me. Sometimes I used to go when I was young. I used to go to bed in the night, and I used to be afraid. But growing up now, I just laugh at it, and I probably will tell my children in the future and scare them too.
What was the scariest story you ever heard?
The scariest one, like in terms of our folklore, I think would probably be the Ligaroo. The Larger Bless, I was an inside child, so to me, in my little mind, I had no chance of encountering a Larger Bless because I was never outside of my house, them kind of late hours in the night. But the way they said the Ligaroo would come inside your house and attack you when you're sleeping, that used to panic me because if you could come inside my house when I'm sleeping, I didn't want to go and sleep in the night because I don't want to get attacked, you know? One little mosquito bites on my hand in the morning, but kill me dead. Mommy, Ligaroo, come and suck me. Look at that on my hand.
Same. I remember once, like, you're in school and you don't really look at your hand properly during the morning. And I saw them, sort of big, used to be kind of bluish black.
Yes.
But it probably bunks your hand somewhere.
You probably bounce your hand somewhere.
But you're thinking, like, something come and suck you in the
In the
night.
night.
So I put blue soap. Let's just say put blue soap.
All kind of thing people used to say.
Oh my
All kind of
gosh.
thing. Garlic, rice, anything fine grain.
Yeah,
so that
but
the time you
let's count.
taking them to count these
You could
things,
catch them.
you catch them. or sun go rise in the morning.
I could imagine how salt.
So you put salt in front of your door.
Salt in front of your door, thing like that. They ever tell you don't walk inside your house
Forward, you walk backward.
when you come home
Yes.
for the morning.
Yes,
right?
because think, I do believe
Me
that.
too, I believe
do
that
believe
as well.
that.
So that
Believe
bad
that?
spirit don't
Yo,
follow you inside
and
your
I
house.
even practice
I mean,
it
real
here
bad spirit
too.
follow me inside the house. Right?
Oh my God, I rebuke that. So make sure you're coming inside your house
Backward.
and not forward.
Exactly.
And then something else too that they used to say, that the elders used to say, don't open your umbrella inside the house, especially
Yes.
if it's a black umbrella.
Yes, I know about that.
Right.
Yes.
What is the reasoning behind that?
I think it's the same kind of spirit thing.
Right.
What
or
can
even
happen?
don't walk with it under a tamarind tree.
On that tamarind tree, right?
Yes,
right.
yes. Somebody told me a story. I'm not too sure if I would believe it, but something hold them on that tamarind tree. They was walking there late with their umbrella, and they saw a shadow, like what they seemed to be a person, and that made them scared. I don't know if it's true or what, but I cannot believe it.
Some of it is true. You have some. You ever your thing outside your house and you're wondering what is that? And
Cricket.
I mean, it could be a cricket, it could be a bat, it could be anything. But
What's
deep
in
down
here?
in your mind, because you grew up with all these folk tales,
Yeah. Or they might say like this particular neighbor, he does weed.
do that. He does do
Yeah.
and he does read bad books and this and
So
that.
they're
So you know
walking-
all them spell and that.
Yes, and he walking on the house and he getting them bad.
Yeah, I never like to hear them things.
No, I used to love. I used to look forward. I used to say, "Tell me more.
Tell me more. Yes.
I
yes,
remember they
yes.
used to tell me when you're meeting somebody, look at their nails, and if the person nails is a little bit yellow, that means that person is not a good person, and I mean that
Or
person is
maybe
a
they have
bad person.
pneumonia.
Something. I mean,
Or
sometimes
another
it could
thing,
be a
like
health
if they have,
condition.
some people have like a black thing on their tongue.
Black thing
If
on
they
the
have,
tongue as
that mean
well.
they have bad mouth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
All
look
these
for
things
that.
going on.
If they have black thing on their tongue, they drink hot cocoa tea. Oh God, man.
And the thing is, some of it is so innocent. Some of it is just things that people that's just their anatomy, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
our folklore is just so intense, so in
It
depth.
is, it is.
It just takes any little thing and assigns a meaning to it. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, I believe in those things. I will be watching fingernails,
And
and I will be looking at tongues.
That's crazy.
You guys ever noticed this? It's something that I noticed very recently, actually, and I spoke to somebody about it a couple days ago. Most of our elders, well, those of you who still have grandparents, we used to call them, and great grandparents, we used to call them mama and papa and pop and papi. Go by mom, go by papa, go by mama. You know, I
Right.
refer to my great grandma as Mama Castle, you know. But nowadays, you start introducing your kids and so on. You start telling them that's your grandma, that's your grandpa. I mean, yes, it is, but we used to say mama, papa. It might not have been your mother, but
Right.
that
Just
was
for
just how we
respect.
said respect.
Just for respect, yeah. Cousin, so and so,
Right,
auntie. You
auntie,
must be your
so-and-so.
cousin, you must be your auntie, but just
and your tante.
Right.
And those are traditions that came down from our African history.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
But with all the American influence and so on, we
You just
kind of
call
stray
people
away
by their
from that.
name.
Mhm.
Yeah, which sounds disrespectful for strict Caribbean parents. But
Right, right.
Yeah, I used to say granddad.
You say granddad.
Granddad.
Yeah, and
yeah.
granny.
Well, I'm sure
Or
it has some
tanty.
people that used to say pop. I'm sure y'all have heard of that.
No, I never
Tanty,
heard about Poppy. Yeah.
Tanty, so and so. Yeah.
I puppy.
Cousin, so and
So,
so.
and Caribbean people that everybody is their cousin. you know.
Everybody's their cousin.
Everybody is their cousin.
That's just
All
what
kind of
makes
pumpkin
us
vine thing.
United.
But pumpkin vine is cousin though.
I mean,
Pumpkin
I
vine is
mean-
cousin. Cousin is cousin.
Cousin is cousin.
y'all ever hear somebody try to justify how somebody related to you, and you just can't follow the story, but the person's so passionate about it, and so had this child with this person,
Yes.
and that and
Some
that and
long-
that.
All people, they're very, very intense with that. They know how to make
To
the
web that
connection.
family tree back
Yeah.
together, right?
And our generation down, I don't think we have that in us, to be honest.
But
No.
that's something I treasure, you know, and that's something I made sure to get from my grandparents. And so I sat them down and made them tell me the entire family tree, everybody's sister, everybody's cousin, where we came from, so I could kind of trace back my entire family tree, you know. That's just something that I really like to do, to you know, to have that knowledge, you know. But and I feel like you guys should do that too, you know. If you do have elder folks in your family that could give you that
Right.
knowledge, you'd be so surprised. It would be so informative for you. Right? One more thing before we close, and this probably should have come up in the first segments. Did you guys make bow and arrows when you were growing up?
No.
I did that as a child and shoot lizard.
And shoot lizard. And shoot lizard.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, lizard and peace tree.
Oh my god.
And they make bow and arrow, but we used to make like slingshot.
Slingshot.
Yeah. And sometimes like what we used to do, like you take like a chubby bottle
Mm.
and you would cut the top of it.
Yeah, to make it as a mouth.
Right, and you get like probably like
Balloon.
like a balloon,
Yeah,
and you
balloon
tie it,
gun.
and then you put like a stone in it, you pull it back,
And you pull it back.
release that,
Yeah.
yo,
Or
crazy
sling.
work.
We call it slingshot.
We used to call that balloon gun.
Balloon gun.
every same thing, different name.
Different names. I know the bow and arrow used to be very questionable because to a lot of the elder folks, it used to be a symbol of violence, right?
Right.
So when they see you making the bow and arrow, it was an automatic, no, don't do that, don't do
Right.
that. You shouldn't do that because
Danger.
they didn't want you to get into that practice of
Yeah.
violence, right? We have to appreciate them for that because look at the crime rates, right?
Oh yes.
Right.
The crime rate in Grenada is still relatively low in comparison to a lot of places in
In
the region
Yeah.
and in the
that's
world. So we still have to be thankful for that, you know.
our brain.
Amen. Amen. And it was because of the same things that our grandparents told us growing up.
Yes.
Right? I think we've said a lot. I think we've reminisced on a lot. We've had a lot of fun memories come back to us and a very insightful conversation. So, as we close, I just want to hand over to everybody so that they can say something to close, whether it's a thank you, whether it's just a word of appreciation, you know, as we get ready to send off.
Or as we get ready to celebrate independence tomorrow.
Right.
You know? Yes, I mean, it's how much years? 52?
51.
51. Why am I saying 52? But yeah, 51 years of independence. That's, you know, something to celebrate, you know, as one nation. Yeah, so.
I'm so proud to call you my home.
Dre's singing for us.
And as we're on this home sweet home, is like, you know, when you travel and you come to bigger countries, you really do appreciate home, right?
For sure.
You know.
Yeah.
The
Best place in the
food,
world,
the patriotism, the community, you know, the unity, all of that. So
All we want from here is just a little bit of money.
just to go back
You
home.
just have to make the US dollars and live home, eh? Nothing in the world better than that, you know.
Right?
Ice is
Yeah.
coming for you as we speak.
If you come from here and tell me, oh, send back me place better than here. Yeah.
No place better than
No
home.
place better than home. All right, so
You don't have to worry about the IRS.
I want to say a special thank you to Chanel, Lene, and Dre for joining us here this evening. And I want to say thank you to everyone looking at the podcast right now, joining us, just having that moment of appreciation for Grenada and for being Grenadian. It is such a unique experience. It is such a happy feeling. I feel like we can all say that we are so proud to be Grenadian. So, happy Independence, Grenada, and I hope everyone has a very safe and spirit-filled independence. Bye.
No place sweeter than home.